Hello everyone and welcome back to my The Young and Restless 24 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sharon and Phyllis will horrify over a trick while Jack gets honest with Diane Jenkins. First, let's talk about Tracy joyful engagement news since that may be on Jack's mind. Jack will make an admission to Diane, so will he confess any enterprises? Since Jack is always going to be a defensive family, he might admit he's upset about Tracy moving too presto. Jack might have a strange feeling about Tracy and Alan rearmost romantic corner that he's unfit to shake. Anyhow, there are good reasons to believe Alan is actually his mentally unstable twin, Martin, especially now that we know he's been watching the live videotape feed of interned Phyllis and Sharon. It looks like Martin is to condemn for the hostage fermentation that Sharon and Phyllis have been dealing with. Phyllis and Sharon assume their final challenge is to find a way out of the abandoned psychiatric clinic, but they're about to walk right into a trap. Martin will supposedly trick Phyllis and Sharon with a challenge they were awaiting, so they'll end up in fear mode soon enough. Could there be commodity to raise the stakes and maybe offer a time limit on this common escape? Will Sharon and Phyllis do commodity that sets off a preamble on an explosive device or commodity along those lines? One way or another, Phyllis and Sharon will realize their lives are truly on the line. The action is about to toast up, so stay tuned for updates on the climax of this shocking story. Over with Victor, he'll put Adam through a grilling session. Adam will make some choices that Victor finds questionable, so we'll see if this is about his son's particular life, professional life, or both. Victor formally raised his support for Adam and Chelsea getting back together, so he shouldn't have a problem with that. Still, Victor might have an issue with Chelsea's moping connection to Billy. That could leave Victor concerned about whether Adam will be willing to go against Chelsea if need be when it comes to targeting Abbott dispatches. Whatever the case, Adam will really rush to his own defense and make some prognostications about having everything under control. Victor will play to win no matter what, so don't miss all the revengeful plots ahead. Insecure Sally may have 5 words for Billy to pound over. Formerly Phyllis deliverance changes everything. Will Billy and Phyllis's connection leave Sally with major dubieties about their own love? Sally was formerly annoyed over Phyllis calling Billy continuous during their Paris trip. Although Sally is sympathetic over the trouble that Phyllis has landed in now, she can also see the solicitude written all over Billy's face. Billy is gearing up for a deliverance charge with Nick, so they'll probably be the bones to save Phyllis and Sharon from the prison agony they've been stuck in. Phyllis may latch onto Billy indeed further than ahead. We wouldn't be surprised if Phyllis planted a kiss on Billy in a moment of relief and gratefulness. Anyhow, Phyllis and Billy's relationship may start to consolidate, which could clearly leave Sally with growing enterprises. Once Billy presumably becomes Phyllis's idol, that's going to bond them in a unique way. As Sally deals with precariousness and watches Phyllis pull Billy closer, it could push her to her breaking point. Sally may eventually decide to ask Billy commodity that could determine whether they still have a future together. That brings us to those 5 words we mentioned, since Sally might prompt Billy to answer this simple question: do you want Phyllis back? Billy might try to deny it, but Sally could still find herself wondering whether Billy would rather be back with Phyllis rather. We might see Sally's jealous side come out a bit, but this could substantially be about guarding her heart from another round of pain. Sally went through enough desolation when Adam cheated with Chelsea, so the last thing she wants is to subscribe up for further of the same. That's why Sally might demand Billy's honesty as she struggles with mounting worries about his partner. Billy and Phyllis's moping connection could be a real problem for Sally, so stay tuned for updates on further love triangle news. Billy's part in Phyllis's deliverance could be a game changer, so stick with us for further on how it'll affect Sally. Martin will watch the live clinic videotape after Phyllis does CPR to save Sharon. In prison, Phyllis will horrify when she can't wake Sharon up. Once Phyllis realizes she can't find a palpitation, she'll pound over a card with the indication on it and eventually start doing CPR. Sharon will hyperventilate for air sooner or laterally and learn Phyllis just saved her life. Once Phyllis and Sharon accept that they've saved each other, they'll realize the prisoner is putatively gone and that their final mystery is to find a way out. Since Sharon and Phyllis wouldn't be detracted by their feud presently, they'll resoluteness to use cooperation to make this escape be and will shake on it. At Crimson Lights, Summer will join Chance and Nick as they bandy the rearmost details of the case. The white van will be traced to an abandoned storehouse quarter, so Nick and Chance will make some positive prognostications grounded on this lead. Latterly, Billy will show Nick another indication since he called the burner phone number that Daniel gave him for Phyllis. Billy will point out that a textbook came through from that number, prompting him to click for further information on Havenhurst Psychiatric Clinic. Since that clinic will be in the same abandoned storehouse quarter that they've been looking at, Nick will know it can't be a coexistence. Billy and Nick will ultimately give Chance and Summer updates on what they've learned as they prepare to take action. It seems Alan evil twin, Martin, will be posing as his family. During a mess with Tracy, Jack and Diane Jenkins, Alan will bring Tracy back from her trip and tell a funny story about his failed attempt to surprise her in New York. After Tracy and Alan gush over what they feel for each other, Alan will suggest he could stop his speaking engagements and begin traveling with Tracy more. In fact, Alan will allude that he'd ask Tracy to marry him right now if he allowed. She'd say yes. Jack and Diane will excuse themselves, so that'll give Alan a chance to deliver a proper offer. Tracy will accept Alan's offer of marriage, so Alan will rush out to buy a ring and make this functionary. While Tracy's participating the good news with Jack and Diane, Alan will sit on a bench in the domain and aspect at the ring he's just bought. Alan aka Martin will also pull up the live videotape from the clinic so he can watch Sharon and Phyllis, so that'll confirm him as their prisoner. Phyllis and Sharon have further peril ahead of them, so don't miss the life-hanging marvels ahead. Billy Flynn as a brand new character, so the Days of Our Lives star is leaving the part of Chad DiMera before. It turns out Flynn is cleaner hopping, so he'll be making the move from Salem to Genoa City. Y&R suckers can anticipate to see Flynn make his debut on the CBS Cleaner in the not-too-distant future. Although the show's keeping the character details under wraps, Flynn will make his first appearance laterally this spring in a new part according to television bigwig. Although Flynn celebrated a decade at Days of Our Lives not too long ago, he seems ready to embrace the change of commodity new. In a statement, Flynn expressed his gratefulness for his time at DOOL and participated excitement over challenging himself with this new occasion. Billy Flynn is Chad DiMera, but you've still got time to enjoy him in that part. Since DOOL flicks about 9 months in advance, Flynn's work as Chad will continue to state through 2026. Griffith is formally making prognostications about the good effects we're all going to see from Flynn moving forward. On behalf of the entire company of The Young and the Restless, we look forward to drinking Billy to the show, Griffith said in a statement to television bigwig. He'll be a awful addition to Y&R's astral cast. How do you feel about Billy Flynn leaving as Chad DiMera on Days? Are you looking forward to seeing Flynn make his debut in Genoa City? It'll be intriguing to see what Flynn's part is such like and who he might be paired up with upon his appearance. There's always room for fresh faces in GC, so we'll bring you updates as further news comes in regarding Flynn's part. There's much further drama to come on the CBS Cleaner, so don't miss what's ahead for Flynn's character and so numerous others.